Today we will discuss about NAT, that is called Network Address Translation. So basically we are going to learn the NAT on the ASA, Cisco firewall. So if I talk about NAT, I can categorize the NAT process into three parts as per the IS version. The version is 7.0, 7.1, 7.2, 8.0, 8.1, 8.2 and 8.3, 8.4, 8.5, 8.6, 9.0, 9.1, 9.2, 9.3. So we will find out what is the difference between these versions. If I talk about specifically about NAT translation or NAT, network address translation, in this NAT control command was compulsory. This command is compulsory. You need to run this command NAT control if you want to perform the NAT. In 8.0 it is optional. It's up to you either you want to perform this or not. Let me tell you again, revise the concept NAT control. This means if you want to move from one interface it should be netted. So this is the meaning of NAT control. It is optional. You can perform NAT without this command or this command. And another difference is in 8.4 no support. This command is not supported. Okay, let me show you how. This is my firewall. Okay, I put show version. My version is 8.6. So if I try to type this command, NAT control. This syntax of this NAT command has been, it is not supported now. You cannot run this command. So the another difference between this version, this whole version and this whole version is the commands. The commands are different. Okay. So in 8.0, in up to 8.3, okay, if you want to perform static NAT, we will say static in to out, then global IP, maybe 101.1.1, then local IP, that is maybe any IP you can take. Okay, this was the syntax of 8.0. If I want to perform the same NAT, static NAT in 8.4 up to 9, the syntax is little bit different. In this, we will create objects. I will say object network, any name. Let's take a name ABC. Okay. Here I will define the IP address host. The IP, the local IP is this. Okay. We need to create one more object because I want to convert 12.1.1.1 into this. So I need two objects, one for this and another object to define this IP. I already defined it, right? So I need one more. So I will say object network XYZ. Okay. Host, the IP is 101.x. So I defined two objects. Object 1 is for local IP, object 2 is for global IP. Now I need to perform NAT. So I will remember this thing. We have two methods to perform static net, static pad, dynamic. We have two methods. The first one, I will go again into object network ABC. ABC means the local IP, right? I will say here net, perform net when someone is going from into out. This is my local, okay, and my global is this. I will say this is my static and convert this local address ABC address into this is the configuration. First I define ABC, okay, because I need two objects, one for this IP, another for this IP. I want to convert 12.1.1 into 101. So I create ABC, another one is XYZ. In ABC I define the local and in XYZ I define the global. Then I will go again in the local one. Always remember you need to go into the local one, not the global one. We will go to the local one ABC and define perform net from in to out static because it is a static net. See, this is a static net. Static means the entry will remain in the netting table and convert this ABC into XYZ and then exit. This is how. Let's try it. Okay. Let me tell you our topology. I created the topology like this. R1 is connected to ASA and is connected to R2. 12.1.1, 12.1.2, 23 1.1.1 and 23 1.1.2. This is security level 100. This is 0. This is inside and this is outside. Let's test it. This is R1. Show IP interface brief. So 12.1, okay, and I gave a default route also, show IP route towards firewall. Now show int IP brief 12.2 and 23.1 and here also show IP interface brief 12.2. This is my IP addressing and the name of this show name it. One is inside, one is outside, 100 and 0. So this is similar to this 100, 0 inside, outside. Firewall can ping R1 and firewall can ping R2 and R1 can telnet. Okay. Now let's create the objects. Net control command is, see, I am pressing the tab but it is not showing. So I will create objects. Object network ABC host. This is my local IP. Object network XYZ host. I want to convert this 12.1.1 into 101.1. I will go to the local again ABC. I will say net perform when inside to outside. It is a static net and convert it into XY. Show history. I will copy and I will paste it to the notepad also. This is the configuration of static net. Now the net is performed. So if I put here debug IP icmp and if I pinging from R1 to R2, the destination is 101.1. This means it is converting. But if I want to open the access list, if I want to open the access list for ICMP, I will say access list, any name, myacl, permit ICMP. The source is this, and the destination is, and the destination is 101.1. In 8.0, we open this for 101. Right? But in 8.4 up to 9.0, we will open for the real IP address. What is the real IP address of this? 12.1.1. So I will type here 12.1.1. Access group my ACL in interface outside. So yes, every time now we will use the real address. So I will copy and paste. It's not working. If you type here the global IP address 101.1.1, it will not work. You need to type the local IP address. My local IP address is this. My global is this. In 8.0, we open the ACL with this IP. But in 8.4 up to 9.3, we open the ACL for the real IP address. Now we will perform the dynamic net. Okay. Dynamic net. Dynamic means we are converting multiple IP address into some IP address. Okay. Suppose we have a network of 12.1.1.0. This means 254 host. I want to convert them into like 10 IP address of 9 from here to this. Okay. So how I create it? I will say object network. I will use the name ABC. I will say the subnet is 12.1.1.0 and the mask. You need to define the mask /24. Okay. Then I will say again object network. Now I need to define the range, right? So I will take XYZ and the range is 105.1.1 to 105.1.1.9. And then I will go to the real one. The real one is ABC, right? Object network ABC. I will say perform net from in to out. This time I am using dynamic and convert this ABC dynamically into. So I will type here X, Y, Z, N, X. That's all. If I ping it from here, it's pinging. Okay. This is static entry, right? From inside to outside. Flag means which flag is on? S flag is on. S means static. The timeout, it is static entry, so there is no timeout. 0, 0, 0, 0. Let me tell you one more thing. Suppose if you don't want to perform static net like this, that rather than going in the object and everything, right? So I will remove this entry and I will say no. If you don't want this method of doing like this static net, okay. So now if you have show run object, now you have two objects, but you want another way. If you don't like this way that going into the one object defining net, you can define globally also. Inside to outside. You need to define source, static and convert my ABC into XY Z. This is the second method to perform static NAT. I am saying NAT perform inside to outside. My source is static and convert ABC means 12.1.1 into 1 over. It is converting. This is the another way. Yes. So these are the two methods. Either I can use this, then I need to remove this command, or I can use this whole. Now we will learn how to perform dynamic. These are the configuration. Okay, dynamic. Let's remove clear, configure, NAT and clear, configure, object. Now I will say object network ABC subnet. I want to convert the whole. Okay, and object network XYZ range 105.1.1 to 105.1.1.9. Object network ABC NAT from inside to outside dynamic converted into XYZ. So this is my configuration. First, I define this is my group of IP address means 254 hosts, and I want to convert them into these IP addresses. Then I said perform NAT inside to outside. Now it is dynamic means it is remain for a limited time and convert them into XYZ. This is my XYZ. This is called dynamic NAT. So if I now ping, okay, we have clear configure access. The XLATE table is already there. So clear configure access list and clear XLATE. Now ping will not work because I removed the access list. But he is taking the first IP address. This means dynamic is working. Now show XLATE. The timeout means the dynamic entry will remain in the table for 3 hours. Okay. I flag I means dynamic from inside to outside. The third one is or should we open the ACL? Okay, let's open the ACL. Access list my ACL permit icmp host. The next source will be this, right? And the destination is 105.1. My okay. We need to open the ACL for the real IP. So clear, yes, clear configure access list my ACL permit ICMP host is 23.1.2 and the destination is 12.1.1. My ACL is working. The ACL will remain the same. In all the cases, my ACL will be Same. The third one is PAT, converting multiple IP into interface or one. Interface IP or single IP. That is called many to one. The commands remain same. I will say object, network, ABC, subnet, many. So I need to take a subnet. 1 dot 1 dot 12 dot 1 dot 1 dot 0 255 dot 0. I will say net, perform net when inside to outside, dynamic because it will not remain in the xlate table, and convert them into interface. This is the one method to perform it. And the second one is I can create the object network XYZ, and I can take a single IP, 1 1 1 dot 1 dot 1. Okay, and rather than mentioning here interface, I can mention XYZ. It will also perform the same function. So let's perform it. Here, configure object. So I will say object network ABC subnet, subnet 12.0. From here I can say NAT from inside to outside, dynamic in the inter. He is replying to the IP address of the ASA interface 12.23.1.1. There is one more method. Here configure object. I can define like this: object network ABC subnet, and I can choose, rather than choosing the interface IP address, I can choose my own IP address. Suppose I want to convert them into 111.1. Object network ABC perform net from inside to outside, dynamic and with IP address of XYZ. So by default timeout for the PAT is 30 seconds. 30 seconds. And you can change it timeout accelerate. Here you can change the timeout of only dynamic net. Dynamic, you cannot change the time of PAT. You cannot change the time of PAT. The last one is very easy. Static PAT. Static means it will remain in the excellent table, or I can say NAT table. Okay. Now it's little bit confusing to configure. Suppose this is our topology R1 ASA R2. Okay, 12.1, 12.2, 23.1, 23.2. Okay. First, I will create objects. Object network ABC host dot object network XYZ. So I can use PAT, means I want to convert the port address. If my topology, my question is like this: if someone is hitting on this IP address with this port number, okay, convert this into 12.1.1.123. Okay, if someone is hitting on this IP with this port, redirect that traffic to 12.1.1 to 23. So 12.1.1 object group is there. 101 object group is I am creating host 101.1 exit. Okay. Okay. Now I will go to the global mode and say net from in to out source static, or I can use this one. Rather than going here, I can go to object network ABC and I can define from here net in to out static to this XYZ, and here I will say service TCP. The real service is 23, the map is 23, 23. Okay, first write show history. This is the configuration of at EAT. I will remove this. Yes, this is the configuration of the pet. The last one is static pet. So object network ABC host 12.1.1 object network XYZ host is, I will go to the real object network ABC net from inside to outside static to the XYZ service TCP question mark. Specify the real port. My real one is 23. Then question mark. It is a specify the map. The map is 23, and this is how we will do it. But let me tell you one thing. Now we finish this, right? But the thing is that the user will come from outside, right? And it's going from lower security level to higher. So we need to open the access. Access list is already there. Show access. Because we open for the real IP, the host will be this, and the destination will always be this. So if someone from outside telnet 101.1.1 with port 23, it will not work. Why? Because my access list contain only icmp. So access list myacl permit TCP for host 23.1.2 for the host. Okay. This means I am accessing R1. We can verify line VTY024 password CISCO. I can access. The ping is working. The ping? No, because it is port based. We don't need specify port number. I mentioned here the port number. Yes, because H port reference when I make access list, I have to count 3. Static pet. Yes, question. Ask question. Yeah. When I make 0, yes.
Yes. I have to have this type of number. How much
You can define here. You can define here. You can say equal to.
Yes. 23 or 23, 23.
Here.
Which one?
If I say clear configure access, okay, I don't have access. Now if I initiate, it will not work. So access list my ACL permit TCP. Okay. The source will be always 23.2. The destination will be always this. Now your question is whether I will open for the 23 or only 23. I will say dot one equal to 20 access group my, let me show you this interface. I open here for the 23, okay, but I can access. This means I will always open for the real IP and real port. In 8.4, 8.0, we are opening the ACL for the mapped IP and the port. But here we are opening the access list for the real IP and real port. My real port is 23. I will open this for the real IP and real port.
The NAT is performed before the access.
Yes. We will open ACL and port for real IP and real port. In this case, our real port is this one or this one. Which one is real? 23. So I will open the ACL for this, and real IP is this.
You can do the same